Hi, and yesterday I posted up a roundup of the images I took in March of 2023, and what I wanted to do in this video is pick my favourite five images from that set and really talk a little bit about what I like about them, how they were taken, and just go into a little more depth about it. Hopefully you'll find this interesting. If you do, please do hit the like button down below, and if you want to see more of these, please do subscribe to the channel. Okay, so with no further ado, let's have a look at the first of the images in my top five. So this one is a black and white image of some cherry blossom. So it's actually a tree across in my neighbour's garden. My memory recalls took this on a Lumix GX7 with an Olympus 150 to 300, no, 150 to 200 mil lens. I will have to double check on that, I honestly can't remember. No, I can. It's a 75 to 150 mil lens on this. So basically took this to throw the background out of focus and to get it close enough. It's actually quite heavily cropped in off of that, and then quite a bit of work done in Lightroom to tidy the image up and basically to get the range of tones that I wanted in there, focusing on the cherry blossom. Now, it's quite an unusual choice, and I did take a similar image to this in colour because there's a really nice pink magenta tones to cherry blossom. So it initially seems a bit odd to opt for black and white for it, but that's what I did. So here we go, we've got the black and white version of this. Might seem a bit strange to do that, but I really liked the way that it came together tonally. You got a really good range of tones there. I liked what the black and white conversion and a little bit of colour grading editing did to the sky in the background as well. Not colour grading, sorry, the actual change through the black and white filter options that are available within Lightroom we used on there. But I just really liked the way that the image came together. I like the square crop and the focus on it. It just, for me, works. So that's my first image. My second image that I picked, now this was actually from a set by an artist formerly of XTC called Barry Andrews, who performed in a local coffee shop earlier in the month called Barista Cats. If you're ever in Swindon during the week, great place to go for a coffee. Really nice cakes as well. And this was actually just a photograph. Again, I've converted this to black and white because it really suited the look and feel of it, of the audience, a mixture of people I do know, people I don't know within this one, actually in between sets, and just really like the way it all came together with the various subjects. The lady hiding her face with the coffee cup. It's not staged, that's exactly what she did. She was okay having a photograph taken, she just didn't want her face in it because she actually, I found out, works in film production and does a lot of film shooting herself, and prefers, as I do, to be on the other side of the camera. But I just like that there's so much going on here within this. I even like the chair down in the lower right hand corner. I think it puts something there, and I really like the way that this one came together, and just compositionally it works. Again, the black and white tones within it, the different elements going in, I think it tells a story. I roughly know what was going on here, but I'm sure for other people looking at it, it may tell a number of different stories, and I just like the way it came together. So that's my second image there. Oh, in terms of technical details on this one, this was an Olympus OMD EM1 Mark II with the Lumix 20mm f 1.7 on there, which is a great little lens. lens. It's really nice, really sharp, even when fairly wide open. It's not the fastest focusing thing in the world, but I like the lens and the 40mm equivalent angle it gives. Really nice little combination. Okay, moving on, we've then got one I took of my turntable. Now, my turntable's a little bit of a hybrid. It's a Rega Planer 1, but previously I had a Rega Planer 3 with the glass platter, which unfortunately died after over 30 years of good service, so I cannibalised a few of the better bits from that to upgrade my Planer 1, and that's what you see here. Now, I fully appreciate this does to a degree look a little bit like it's a product shot. I kind of like that in a way. Interestingly, the camera and lens combo exactly the same as the last one, the OM1 and the Lumix 20mm on there. But what we've got here is it's actually illuminated by the screen lights of a pair of mobile phones placed either side of it, and then again edited within Lightroom. A lot of use of lowering or upping the darks and the shadows here to basically give us a very, very low-key image here, but to me it just helps sum up what vinyl means to me and the vinyl experience means to me. I love listening to music on vinyl. I've had vinyl for, well, ever since I was a teenager. I've never been without a turntable since my very first one, so this for me really sums up everything about that, and you know, it is a little bit of a sanctuary for me in terms of music, just sticking some vinyl on, just sitting back listening to it, maybe reading a book while I'm doing so as well, so really works for me in that regard. So that's my third image. Now my fourth one, this was actually taken at another gig at Barista Cats. Well, gig's not really the right word. It was an electronic music open mic night. Now I'd never been to one and I found it absolutely fascinating. I love electronic music as well as more traditional, shall we say, music. And it's quite interesting that there's virtually none of actual bands or musicians playing in my top 5, which is odd, because if you've watched the video with all of the shots from March, you'll know there's an awful lot of shots of artists and musicians in there. This is a photograph of a friend of mine, Lauren, and she was deeply engrossed in the music at this particular point, and I just managed to grab this shot of her. This one was taken again with the EM1, but in this case I think it was the 45mm Olympus I used on this, the f1.8, which is a superb lens, really tight crop in on Lauren there, and again the blue lighting, just to see her totally absorbed in the music, that really comes across for me in this particular image, and I really liked it as a result of that, so I'm quite happy. In fact, no, I'm very happy with how this one came out. And then my final one is again from another gig, but in this case this was 4 bands played in one night here at the the Victoria, which is a really long-running music venue in Swindon. They have a lot of gigs there, and again, if you're ever in Swindon, well worth a visit if they're having a gig there. And there was 4 bands playing there this night. On this particular evening, I got a lot of really good photographs out of there, and it was a struggle to know which one to pick. Now, this was actually I can't remember if it was the start or the end. I think it was the start of one of the sets, and it was kind of a little interlude. One of the bands that played was called Men in Vests, and then there was another artist called Lee Knott there who played with a keyboardist called Ariana, and also there was a band called the Crystal Wolf Project, who actually, the lead singer from there, Emma, asked me to come along and photograph this gig. And I think they were about to start a kind of super group type mashup with the guitarist from Crystal Wolf Project, Lee Knott, and Men Invests playing together, but they needed some work doing with the actual mix or some of the setup. So the guy that was running the sound desk came out, and I just managed to grab this shot. Nobody else seemed particularly interested in this because, you know, you've got the musicians just having a chat to themselves and talking to people they knew within the audience, and you've got this guy there and he's working to make sure everything is right. And I just loved the framing of it and the lighting of it, and I was pretty sure when I took it that I could get something decent out of this. And if I remember, I think this was my Lumix GX7 I took this on. Again, the 20mm f1.7 for this. You can tell I've got a type as far as lenses go. I really love that combo of lenses. Now, when I got this into Lightroom, it was a fairly even exposure all over, and I wanted to really focus on the sound engineer. So I basically did some local adjustments. I do a lot of local adjustments on the work I do when I'm editing, and I wanted to focus really on him, and as a result, that's why your eyes drawn to that. I basically lowered the exposure using a radial gradient mask on here, lowered the exposure in the other areas so that it's really just honing down in on him and focusing on him. And one of the reasons why I picked this was particularly because when we go to gigs and when I photograph gigs, I'm very aware of the fact that I'm focusing a lot of the time on the artists and the musicians, as you would expect. You know, that's completely understandable. But without people like the engineers and the bar staff and everybody else that, you know, operates the venues and runs the desk and things like that, we wouldn't have gigs to go to. They simply wouldn't exist. We wouldn't have the same experience. So I wanted to pick an image that focused on the people behind the scenes in this, and that's why I went for this one as my fifth one. And I'd have to say, of all of the images I took in March, this is probably one of my favourites, but if not my pick of the top 5. But I have to say, narrowing this month's photography down to just 5 images has been immensely difficult. And if you want to, go and have a look at the other video, have a look through all of the images I took in March. Let me know if you agree with the 5 I've picked here, or if you want to, let me know which one of the 5 that I've put up is actually your pick. You know what mine is? It's this one. Let me know what you think down below. Thank you very much for watching this video. That's all I've got to go through now. And if you've enjoyed this, as I say, please do hit the like button. And if you want to see more like this, please do subscribe to the channel. But for now, thanks very much for watching. Take care. Bye.